Hey, what's up everybody? Broman here. Got another video for you. This time flying out the P-47M. I decided that I'm going to start flying this plane a little bit more. I've, been flying the P-47Ds a lot, and I've reached my personal goal with them. So I'm going to start switching it up a little bit. And I think I'm going to start flying this plane out a little bit more. I spent the 25-30 bucks for it, so might as well fly it at least a little bit. And I've been flying a little bit here, and I've been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun to fly. It's a monster. This thing is an absolute beast. Um, Compared to the P-47Bs, it has 500 more horsepower to work with, and you can really feel it when you're flying this plane. I'm still kind of new to it, right? I haven't flown it too much, so I still have a little bit to learn regarding its limits, as well as the limitations of all the other planes that it'll fly against. I'm just not really used to this battle rating and the planes that occupy it. So I've got a little bit of learning there to go, but I had a pretty good match here that I think you guys might enjoy seeing. Had some nice fights with some good opportunities to use some pretty unique tactics. So here we go. I guess I'll get into it here. I had this Corsair up here with me, this friendly Corsair. He dives down and gets himself a kill, and then immediately blows all of his energy in a high G maneuver there. So I dive down here trying to help him out, and this is kind of, I guess, a lesson that I have never learned, I guess, or that I sometimes forget. So when you try to dive down to save an enemy, a friendly who is being, I guess, not as wise with their energy, it tends to get yourself in trouble as well. So I threw away a lot of energy there trying to help him, and sure enough, as soon as I do that, I've got an enemy Kirkfirst here at my altitude, and I don't really have the energy advantage over him. Why couldn't I see this guy when I had a nice, comfy altitude advantage over him? Also, there's a second 109 who I'm just now seeing, who is even more energetic than the first one and who is closing on me pretty quickly. So I extend away a little bit, trying to get some separation from this first 109, and the goal is to reverse back around so I can force the rear 109 into a high-speed merge so I can get him to throw away some of his energy. I'm accelerating away from the first 109. I'm leaving him. I'm gaining some separation, so I'm not as concerned about him. It's the one behind him that has a lot of energy built up that I'm worried about. So I perform, I guess, kind of a high yo-yo reversal here, and dive to pick up some speed here for this merge with this rear 109, making sure that I keep out of gun range or give the first 109 a kind of a difficult angle to shoot me from. So that rear 109 does the intelligent thing and avoids the head-on with me there. But that kind of gave me an idea of how this guy flies. He doesn't, at least based on that merge, he doesn't really care too much about accepting head-ons. So I reversed back around here. Still under really no threat from the first one, but knowing that the second 109 doesn't care for head-ons, I decide to commit to one here. And I get a nice little hit into him. I don't know if it did any damage, but caught him off guard there, and he has to blow a lot of energy to evade me. And one thing about the P-47M, especially compared to the P-47Ds, is that it's just the power it has. Like, I go into this sort of this spiral climb maneuver here, and I mean, this thing just powers through, and you'll see here these 109s, they try to prop hang up to me, but I mean, I'm just like powering through this stall like with ease, and these guys stall underneath me. Now all of a sudden I have a substantial position and energy advantage over these guys, which I'll be able to exploit here, or I'll have an opportunity to exploit. So here I kind of make an error. I think I went for the wrong target, and I forgot that I had left my combat flaps down like a noob. So I end up losing one of my flaps here, which kind of sucks because I like flaps. I use them, and now I can't. Too cute. But, yeah, so overall, that was just not a very good move on my part. I committed to that a little too hard. I lost energy with my flaps being deployed the whole time, right? There's a lot of drag there. Lost a lot of energy. On top of that, I lost a flap, so I can't use them anymore. And the second 109 that was up here is now more or less equal with me again. Actually, he's probably got a little bit more of an energy advantage. So I reverse back around, go into the high-speed merge. He reverses back, throws away a lot of energy in his reversal there, and I just kind of separate a little bit, kind of trying to see how much he has there. And I try to do a little bit of an experiment here, just kind of seeing what the P47M can do. And I would not do this in the D at all. Like, in the P47Ds, this would probably result in death instantly. But I go into this spiral climb with not a lot of separation. At the top of it, where the speeds get really low, I just really stand on the stick, pull hard, and I mean, this hurt first doesn't even come close to matching it. Like, it's insane how much better at this maneuver the P47M is compared to the Kurtfürst. Now, a little disclaimer here. When you get up to these battle ratings, it's entirely possible that I'm fighting against two players in stock 109s, right? When you get up to these battle ratings, the grind to unlock modules and stuff becomes very difficult and time consuming. So it's entirely possible that I'm fighting against two stock 109s, and that's why I'm experiencing a lot of success. It could also be because of the new thermodynamics. I am using manual engine controls right now, which basically allows me to perma-wep. If you can't do that in the Kurtfürst, or if these guys don't know how to do it, or they're using auto engine controls, that could be explaining the huge performance difference. You know, there's a lot of variables here, but right now, that's what I see. So right now, I'm in a position where I've got both of them in front of me, and I decided to go for a little bit of some tomfoolery here. I dive on the bottom one initially, and that makes the higher 109K4 think I'm going for that guy. So he thinks it's okay for him to go into a sort of low-speed reversal in front of me because he's expecting me to commit to the lower guy, and then he's just going to slot in on my 6 o'clock. But I kind of was playing some mind games there, and I kind of anticipated that move from him. So as soon as I saw him reverse around to follow me in my supposed attack on this lower 109, I just maneuver up. He's easy target right there, kind of low speed, not too terribly difficult of a shot, and I end up taking him out of the match. So that gets me my first kill there. And then now it's just me versus this single 109 here. I can easily match him in a dive here, so I decide to chase after him, and he either tries to deny me the kill, or he just makes an error, and he tries to maneuver and ends up smashing into the side of a mountain there. Part of me thinks he just didn't realize it was there, or he thought that he could make that turn, and he was trying to get me to overshoot into the mountain if I tried to follow him, because the way he hit it, he kind of just barely glanced it. But I don't know. Anyways, I count that as a kill. A maneuver kill. I'll take it, even if the game won't. So now I'm on 8 minutes of fuel. We've captured A. I don't know where the rest of the enemy team is, and I figure I'll go land. But en route to the airfield, who would appear but a 109 Dora. I mean, a 190 Dora. So I still got a lot of speed built up from that dive, thankfully. I turn at him and go into kind of a vertical high-speed merge, and he's going so fast that he can't really maneuver to aim at me, so it's not very difficult to avoid his shots. And out of the merge, I reverse back, thinking that maybe he'll go into a hard maneuver, but he doesn't. He plays it kind of smart there, and he extends away. So I don't want to sit on his tail, because that doesn't encourage him to do anything but run away, and I'm never going to catch him. So I turn off to the side a little bit. When he finally turns back, now I can force another head-on high-speed merge, and here he makes a mistake, right? So I'm just trying to force mistakes here. He goes into hard maneuvering immediately after the merge there, and he's too fast to maneuver with me, and honestly, I think the P47M is just much more maneuverable than a door, because I'm like making easy work out of this guy in a maneuvering fight without even having to use my combat flaps. Um, he goes up and I catch him hanging there. I get a nice little snapshot into him, but it doesn't finish the job. I don't know how much damage I did to him there, but it's enough that he realizes he's made a mistake and he tries to extend away. Now, this is another point of where I need to make a little bit of a disclaimer. Once again, my understanding is that the doors on the deck are much faster than the P47M. I think they can get up over 600 kilometers an hour, while the P47M is only at about 590 kilometers an hour. But this guy could be stock, or it could be another issues with manual engine controls, right? So here, I close my radiator, so there's no drag. I start to overheat a little bit, but I've got enough time to kind of push it, past the limit there. And that lets me gain on this guy relatively quickly. He may not be using manual engine controls. He may be overheating right now, so he may not be able to WEP. He may be stock. He may have his radiator completely open, which is reducing his performance to avoid overheating. So one of the things I kind of like with the new thermodynamic system is that if that is the case, you can see there's a lot of benefits to being able to work your manual engine controls there. And sure enough, I get close enough that he loses his nerve and he makes a hard braking maneuver. He's not going to maneuver away from my P47M, and I catch him in a nice, easy snapshot there, set him on fire, and he's out of the match. So, anyways, there we go. A nice little fight in the P47M. There's one guy remaining on their team. I actually end up losing this because I can't find the last guy, and I decided to go suicide into their AAA after about 15 minutes of finding it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the match, enjoyed this replay, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.